Okay, my dogs are out for the public to see. And we're gonna go by the honor system today. Okay, if you got a foot fetish, you gotta log off. This is not for free. This is not a charity case. Okay, honor system. I'll give you a second. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cringe. I am your host, Emma Gemma, and I am so excited to be sitting here chit chatting with you. I'm so excited to be creating this podcast. This is my very first podcast episode. This is my very first podcast ever. This is a new medium for me, and I'm so excited to be trying this out. And I appreciate anyone who's listening right now, even if it's just me listening later. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. I believe in you, and that's what matters. Um, I'm so excited for this. What you can expect for this first episode, okay? I want to introduce myself. You could know me in real life. You could know me from the internet. You probably don't know me from the internet, but you could. You very well could. I don't know. Maybe you saw my Vine in 2013. I don't know. Um, let you know what you're getting in for, because really, I mean, this is like a first date, kind of. It's kind of like a first date. So, um, if it is a first date, I did forget to shave my legs. So, no putting out on the first date tonight. We're gonna be ladies today, okay? We're just getting to know each other. So like I said, I just want to introduce myself, talk about why I started the podcast, why I call it Cringe, and our main topic is what is cringe. It's gonna be a lot of talking about me today, because like I said, it's a first date. You're getting to know me. Um, it all kind of ties in together, and I'm so excited to get started. So without further ado, let me just introduce myself. So like I said, I'm your host, Emma Gemma. You can call me Emma. You can call me Em. You can call me Emma Gemma. It's up to you. I've always done internet stuff. Always, always, always. I think my downfall for becoming chronically online is when my parents let me get a Facebook account at the age of 8. I mean, that was it. I was done. The metaverse wasn't even a thing and I was already sucked in already. I will never forget. I will never forget. I'm 8 years old, unlimited access to Facebook, and someone in my community had died. And everyone was commenting on the Facebook post of the person that passed away, or like the partner, or a family member that posted that they passed away, and everyone's doing their condolences. And I was like, well, I should probably do that too. So 8-year-old me hops on this Facebook post and goes, "Rest in peace, sending you well wishes." Dog, what are you doing? Dog, go play My Little Pony. What the fuck are you doing? Sending you well wishes. Oh, it was over. Oh, it was so over. I was so cooked already. My parents were running around the house trying to figure out if they had accidentally posted that on an account or if someone hacked my account. And finally they asked me, they were like, "Emma, did you post that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "How did you know how to say that?" And I was like, "Dog, could not tell you." I think I could have copy and pasted someone's comment that I'd already commented. Like, just already ready to send thoughts and prayers, be a thoughts and prayers warrior by the time I was 8. So Facebook started it off, and then from Facebook, then you start getting the cool social medias. When Instagram came out, I just looked. You can look on your Instagram, by the way. I have to see how to do it, but you can see how old your Instagram account is. And I just checked mine, and I created mine like December 11th, 2011. My Instagram account is going to be a freshman in high school. Hey, just take me out back and shoot me, actually. I think that would be a lot better and a lot more humane than letting me age the way that I am. That's fucking insane. Like, I'm doing that math right. Like, 2011, 10 is 2021. Like, it's like a 13, 14-year-old Facebook account. They could be doing algebra right now. And because obviously Instagram is non-binary. Obviously. Of course. As we know. We know this. So I get Instagram. When I got Instagram, I started to do Instagram videos once that became a feature. I tried being funny on Vine, and I would tell no one. I would tell no one. I would always like post stuff on social media. On Vine, I made a few videos, and I always was like praying I was gonna get famous. I was gonna get famous like the Madcon boys. I was gonna go on tour, so that was pretty fun. Instagram, that was the first time I kind of stepped out of my comfort zone, and I just started posting videos straight to the people that I knew in real life, because I always had this fear of being weird, and I've always been kind of weird. Like, I just it I think I'm weird. I don't know if people on the outside think I'm weird, but I do. So I always tried to like hide it. I would just try to like shove it down to like the recesses of my ass crack, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to hide it any way I could. Um But doing Instagram videos was the first time that I was like, no, I think I'm just gonna post this for everyone. And it worked out pretty well. I like to say I got quote unquote hometown famous. People would follow me that I didn't know, but there were two instances. There was this parent that I played with a girl on on my basketball team, and her dad was obsessed with my videos, thought I was so funny. Love him, by the way. He gave me the confidence I needed to continue to be chronically online. Thank you, sir. Okay. And then another time at a volleyball game, I'm playing the game. We win. After the game, we're shaking hands. You know, you go up to the court, good game, good game, good game. And a girl comes up to me and goes, "Hey, are you Little Shoe One?" That was my old username. "Hey, are you Little Shoe One?" Yeah. Sorry, is this the FBI? Like, what are you like? What's going on? Like, how do you? She was like, I love your Instagram videos." Now, granted, that girl did end up having a big fat lesbian crush on me, but that's neither here nor there. I was famous. I was famous, and oh my god, like people shipped me. Wait, do you think she wrote fan fiction? It was a time in my life. Okay. After Instagram, I wanted to start doing like more long form content, like YouTube. That was the ultimate goal. I mean, this is like 2013. This is like the time. You know, this is YouTube at its prime. So of course, what do I want to do? I want to be the next fucking Connor Franta. I want to be the next Connor Franta. I was obsessed with O2L. I wanted to be the next Shane Dawson, unfortunately. Asterisks, you know. I wanted to be famous like that. And at the time in 8th grade, I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot at that time. I had like no friends. Like I would go to school miserable. I had to take like a leave of absence from school for like 2 weeks because I was getting like bullied. I was also a dick at that time. Like don't like yeah, I was going through a lot, but I also equally was that much of an asshole. You know, you live and you learn. You go to therapy, and so I just needed someone to like talk to and like talk about my interests to. And I had some online friends and so I was like, I should just do YouTube and like talk about One Direction on there. Because of course, throughout all of this, what's the invisible string is Harry Styles. Of course, it still is. The man is everywhere. He's on my wall right over there. I'm looking into his orbs. His green orbs. As Wattpad would say, of course. Um, and I was deep in that One Direction shit. You know, it's a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong thing. I mean, Wattpad until 5 in the morning. Quotive, if you know Quotive, yeah, that's a real bitch. Put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. She gets it. Okay, quotive. The quizzes that I took on that fucking website, oh, that was Bible. If I didn't get either Harry or Niall in those "Who's your One Direction boyfriend" quiz, I was walking out into the street and hoping that someone would come and hit me with a car. Like it was that serious to me. Nary or die. It is really funny that the abbreviation of One Direction is 1D. Because not a single 13-year-old that liked One Direction was hoping for 1D. You read any of those fucking fan fictions? Oh, it was all gangbang and shit. Every single thing. I mean, every single time they were hoping, oh my god, Nary ship, like, oh my god, Harry and Niall are fighting over me. Harry and Niall are fighting. Zayn and Louis, oh my god, like who's gonna. People shipped Zayn and Louis. That was a good one. But it's just like, I heart 1D. No, you don't. You heart polyamorous situations. That's what you love, you know. What the fuck was I talking about? Okay. So YouTube, of course, I'm talking about polyamory. YouTube, of course, I'm making One Direction content. And I always felt that like my internet obsession and internet activity was cringeworthy. I always thought it was weird. I always thought it made me weird because people would also tell me it was weird. The boys would, of course. The girls kind of got it. The girls got it. Most did. I didn't have a lot of like in real life One Direction friends. I had one. We're not friends anymore, but we did used to text each other pretending to be Niall and Harry. That was a really funny time. Before basketball practice, I'd be texting her like pretending to be Harry Styles. That was an insane time in my life. I'd be like, oh my god. And she would be Niall. I'd be like, oh my god, Niall. Oh my god, Niall, do you think I should ask Emma to be my girlfriend tonight? What do you think? And she would respond and be like, I don't know. I don't. It was crazy. Like, what the fuck was I doing? So of course I was a weird kid. Listen to what I just told you. I was always weird. I was always cringy. And there's this one story that always, when I was naming the podcast, I was trying to think of what to name this, right? And one story kept popping back into my head. And I mean, a lot of stuff did, but this one really stood out to me. So in middle school, there were two middle schools in my like small town. So it's kind of like there's like one small town that has like everything in it, like a gas station and like a functioning grocery store. I lived in like a tinier town like right outside of that. And I went to elementary school through middle school there. I was having problems in 6th grade and I'd grown up with these kids and I decided to move schools to the city school. Oh, we're going to the city. The city, lot to do in the city. You know, big girl moving in the city. Um and that was like the cooler middle school because guess what? Those kids could walk around town and like go fuck up the local bakery at like 4:30 before their mom picked them up for soccer practice. Like they could be the Sephora kids of 2012. That's what we did. We went to the local deli and we caused havoc and we made people want to kill themselves. That was middle school. Okay, it hasn't changed. Like people say Sephora middle schoolers are the problem. We've always been like this. So I end up moving to this new middle school. And of course I always felt secure in my weirdness with my old friends because I had known them since I was 4 or 5. So I go to this cool new school. They're better athletes. They're cuter. They're all new. You know, I know some of them, but to most people, I'm brand spanking new. And I had worn this I Heart One Direction sweatshirt every day of 6th grade, easily. It was at a mall kiosk where you go and you put like the sweatshirt in and then they put the logo and they just like stamp it down with that hot like plate, you know, not like today with the circuit shit. No, you went to a kiosk in the mall. They're trying to take away your history now. Okay, don't forget about mall kiosks. Okay, you could get merchandise there. So I went to that damn mall kiosk and I got myself a I Heart One Direction sweatshirt and I got a shirt with all of the members of One Direction on it. And I would wear that sweatshirt day in and day out. It is so faded and tattered. I still have it. Sometimes I still wear it for fun. And it was my comfort sweatshirt because One Direction was my comfort thing. And I remember the night before school, I think I even told my mom, I was like, I'm not wearing my One Direction sweatshirt. Like there's no way. Like people need to think I'm cool. And they're not gonna think I'm cool if I wear this One Direction sweatshirt. I don't sleep all night. I'm so unbelievably nervous. So unbelievably nervous. It makes me want to gouge my eyes out and throw up. And that morning, I'm getting ready, and my One Direction sweatshirt is sitting on the bed. And I think they're gonna find out eventually. Like I can't hide this weirdness forever. And so I put the sweatshirt on and I get in the car and my mom drives me to school. And we're going up this giant hill. Like this middle school, it feels like a prep school. Like it was so dramatic for what? It's a public fucking middle school. And it felt like an eternity. And I just kept thinking, what are they gonna think? What are they gonna think? What are they gonna think? This is all over One Direction. I'm a middle schooler. I care so much about what people think. My mom parks the car and I just think, oh, here we go. I just walk out the door. And it went fine. It went completely fine. And so the reason that I named the podcast Cringe is I've always felt like my interests have been cringe because people have made me think that my interests are cringe. But what have I done in those instances is even as a kid, I just said, fuck it. I really did. If you are someone that's on the internet, whether you're someone like me that is so annoying that you make a podcast, or you're someone that you just made an Instagram account to keep up with your friends, you have to have some level of I give a fuck what people think about me inside of you. There's like, even if you're an 80-year-old woman with 10 friends from 1958 that you met in the art, you care about what people think about your account. You care about what people post, what you're posting. What do they think about this post that I just made? It depends on the varying degree, but I always, while at times I would be really embarrassed about what I was doing, I always ended up being like, well, I can't hide this shit forever. If people think it's cringe, then it's going to be cringe. And with this podcast, I've always wanted to make a podcast and I always thought, well, that's kind of cringe. Like who would want to listen to me for 25 to 40 minutes every day or every week, however long I do it. Fuck, we'll see. However long these end up being, however, who would want to listen to that? And so when I decided to name it Cringe, I was like, I just need to bite the bullet and realize that not everyone is going to think that you're the coolest person ever. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't find things cringe. You put a furry in front of me, I'm going to question what the fuck is going on, dog. What do we have going on here? I've been to FurCon before, by the way. We'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. I've been to FurCon twice, actually. That's no joke. FurCon twice, okay? But at the end of the day, like, what is cringe? I think what people have to realize is cringe is so subjective. It's so varying from person to person. And I think once we accept that we're cringe as people, we can kind of let go of that, like, who gives a fuck what you're posting? Who cares? I mean, I'm not thinking about anyone else's like social media post right now. Like, I'm not sitting here thinking, "Oh my god, what they posted was so weird." Like, who gives a shit? Once you let go of that idea that like cringe is something to be avoided, you just kind of don't give a fuck anymore. So I think, why did I name it cringe? I just, it kind of gives me that power of like, yeah, I know, bitch, but I don't really care. And I've never cared. I really have never cared. And like I said, I'm not going to be perfect. I still think shit is cringy. I still think shit is cringy. I find anime to be cringe. Now, granted, there are some good animes out there. Um, Granted, I did date a guy that was obsessed with anime. That should have been red flag number one. We'll talk about that another day. But like, I've just always, I've never gotten it. I never understood it. Um, and I honestly, I think it was because of that one volleyball anime where it was like, I'm gonna be the best libero. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm gonna lead my team to victory. Please kill yourself. I played volleyball. So honestly, any media that tries to do volleyball makes me want to die. The summer I turned pretty is a big one. Kill a bee. Oh my god. It's just like people, you're gonna cringe at shit. But I call this cringe because like, who gives a fuck? If you think I'm cringe, I don't fucking care. If you listen to this because you want something to make fun of me for, I don't fucking care. I have people on my TikTok that um like I'll post a TikTok and within like 2, 3 minutes it's already been shared by one person. This has been happening recently, consecutively. Consecutively. I know I have a group of haters out there. And I don't say this as someone that's like, yeah, like my haters are my motivators. Like there's been shit going on and I know who's sending it. I also have screenshots of what they're saying. Like, and the thing is like, what is that gonna do? Is that gonna make you stop like posting stuff? If people find you cringe or they find you embarrassing, what are you just gonna not be yourself? Are you not gonna be authentic? That's fucking dumb. That's fucking dumb. Like I have a girl in my life now that this happened like she's done it to a few people, and this happened a while ago. We were out drinking and stuff, and I was being my tipsy, funny self, and I was laughing and doing something, and she just turns to me and goes, "Psst, "Shut up, shut up!" Like that. That's shut up. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is advice to literally anyone. Think of me as your older sister right now. You pointing out that you're embarrassed by someone else's actions is more embarrassing than whatever the fuck they are doing. Especially if you feel the need to like shut it down in the moment. Like you look like an asshole and it's cringy and it shows your insecurity. Like just sit and like just move in silence, as the men of Instagram would say. Move in silence, big dog, okay? So what is cringe? It's a feeling of uncomfortableness that we just have to get used to. Sometimes I say shit and I cringe at myself. Okay. Hey dog, that's me. But why am I cringing? Because other people might find it embarrassing. And you know what? At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I can't wait to be cringy on here. What you can expect going forward from this podcast, we're not only going to talk about cringe. That's not what the whole thing is. I want to talk about a lot of topics. I think a lot of different topics can be considered cringy because cringeworthy stuff is also just vulnerability at the end of the day. I went through a life-altering breakup like a year and a half ago. I want to talk about that shit. Not go into the details, but like being vulnerable can be considered cringy. People that I know in real life find it cringy when I talk about my breakup. I don't know if they're just over it. Doesn't matter. Talk about it until you're over it. It shouldn't matter. I want to talk about things that I care about, things that you guys care about. I would love to hear your feedback. Like, what do you want to hear? I want to instill segments. I do want to do a God. What is it called? It's like a it's like where someone has a problem and they like submit it, and then I like give my advice on it. Like an Ask Emma, something like that. I would love to do something like that every once in a while. Um, what am I reading? Just shit like that. So that's really what you can expect from the podcast. Is just what am I up to? What is going on in the world? And let's talk about it. Let's discuss. Am I always gonna have the best take? Probably not. But I hope I can make you laugh a little bit. So, with that being said, I think that's it for today. Short episode. I'm so excited to start talking about different stuff. I'm so excited to plan stuff out for this podcast. I appreciate you guys for listening. If you haven't already, make sure to follow on Instagram and TikTok. The username for both of those is Cringe Podcast Official. If you have any ideas for this podcast, like you guys are here at the inception of this. If you have any ideas for shit that you think would be funny or would be entertaining, please DM me on either one. I'm gonna put little question boxes, respond if you feel so inclined. Once again, please follow at Cringe Podcast Official, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Oh, YouTube. This is also gonna be up on YouTube, so subscribe. Same username. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. I'm so excited. I love you guys so much. Sending you all the love. The bitches, I get it. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.